Ooznest, and in this video we're going to go through the process of cutting a 3D model. The model we have chosen to cut is a half World Cup. We're actually giving this away in the giveaway. All the details can be found in the description. But for now, we'll get straight on with the video. So we are cutting this from a 34mm piece of oak. As this piece of oak is quite heavy, quite a big lump, what we've decided to do is move it to the front of the machine so we can use some really strong G-clamps to clamp it to the table. At the back of the machine, we have used an L bracket screwed to the MDF board and then screwed into the piece of oak to hold it securely. Throughout this job we're going to be changing the bit a few times, so what we have to make sure is that our zero position is somewhere where we can reference later on. For example, if you had your zero position set in the middle, as we are cutting the middle out, later on once we come to change the bit, our zero's gone, so we can't re-zero there. So in this job we've decided to set the zero to the front left corner, so we can always come back to the position and reset our Z0 after we've changed the bit. For instance, if you're going to cut away the whole model and there'll be no top surface left, just set your Z0 to somewhere on your spoiler board and then mark it across, and you can come back there later and re-zero your Z axis after you change your bit. As we're cutting a 34mm piece thick of oak, this is pushing the machine to its limit, so you just want to make sure we've got enough travel on our Z axis. So what I've done here is just moved the router to the left hand side of the oak, dropped it down so the cutting bit is touching the spoiler board, and this allows me just to check that we've got enough travel on all the axes without hitting anywhere. So as you can see, this is set up correctly, so I'd advise doing this on really thick materials just to make sure you're not going to hit anywhere. So now that we've checked this and we've got enough travel on our Z axis, we're going to start the job. The first job we're doing is a roughing job. What I will do, we'll do the job and then come back and I'll speak about it after it's been done. Hi, welcome back. As you can see, the roughing cut is now complete. What the roughing cut does, takes away the bulk of material and just leaves a little bit left which we can take away with our ball end bit. We set the roughing cut up so it leaves a 0.3mm allowance. This allows us to remove any scuff marks that were created during this cutting bit. If we didn't have it, any scuff marks we wouldn't be able to get rid of without making the model smaller. The second thing we did was we did a 40mm margin around the model. Because our ball end bit is smaller depth wise than our roughing bit, it wouldn't be able to reach down the side of the model without hitting, but the collet hitting the material. So what we've done, make it wider so there's plenty of room for the ball end to get down there without the collet hitting the edge. We've also left 2mm material at the bottom of the model. We've left this so it basically holds the model in place and stops it from flying off so we can do our final pass. What we'll do at the end is just do a profile cut around the model, leaving tabs so we can just cut off and release our model. You may also be wondering what this black mark is around the edge. What happened there was that when I said about making sure we got enough travel on this side, what I didn't account for was that this material gets 5mm thicker over this side. So obviously as the cutting bit has come over to here, the collet has hit the edge of the material as it's cutting. It hasn't created much of a problem as we've had this 40mm margin anyway, so the model is still usable. Just to give you an idea of the speeds and feeds we used for this roughing cut, so we did a 21k RPM on the DeWalt with a 2mm pass depth and 96% step over, and it's a 1/4 inch cut from our store, and we run it at 1200mm per minute. I've already got the ball end set up, so what I'm going to do is get the finishing pass running and then we'll come back and talk about that. So welcome back. The finishing pass is now complete. How we set this up is that we draw the vector roughly around the edge of the model. The reason we did this is that we didn't want the whole job machining the whole piece again. Otherwise we're just wasting time. So we just done it roughly around the edge, about 1 centimetre off, so just concentrate on the model only. We also set this vector so it's in line with the bottom of the base. What we didn't want to do is have the bit going down the bottom of the base, otherwise there's a higher risk of cutting it because it's a big vertical drop. So about speeds and fees we run this at. So what it is an 1/8 inch bit from our store, the extended reach, because we're doing quite a deep model. On the router we run it at 27,000 RPM and a feed rate of 500 millimeters per minute. And the step over is 5%, so that gives us a nice smooth finish. And then we also did the profile cut with this. So what we're just left with now is just tabs around the edge of the model holding it in. So all we've got to do now is take this block off, by hand cut these tabs, file them down, and that's the model complete. We hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. We're doing a competition where you can win this World Cup we've made here, plus a 3D printed one, the World Cup winning t-shirt of the winning team, a tub of sweets and a £50 Ooznest voucher. All the details are in the link of how to enter that competition. Thanks for watching and see you soon.